So essentially, we're talking about, again, a Web3 company adding some Web2 professionalism. Well, we have the other and opposite way here with the Starbucks announcement that just kind of broke 2 to 3 days ago, which is essentially that Starbucks Odyssey is launching. That's going to revolutionize the way people experience Starbucks rewards. So this is a Web 2 company getting into Web 3. This is not the same as maybe a native Web 3 company like Doodles moving into that realm of being seen as a legitimate professional business. This is one of the largest rewards platforms. To your point that you were making a couple days when we were talking, this is one of the largest rewards platforms in the absolute world, partnering with Polygon to launch rewards based NFTs and assets that will essentially get people involved in the blockchain space. Thoughts?
It's absolutely huge. This is, we speculate and talk a lot about what is mass adoption look like on GM Web3, on NFT Live here and other shows. We talk about what it's going to take to onboard the next 100 million or a billion people into Web3. It's this. It is the biggest consumer brands in the world that already have massive audiences. They've already got millions of app downloads for their loyalty, and rewards apps. And they're going to be integrating NFTs, integrating Web3 tech into their existing user base, into their existing services. And it's going to be seamless. I have no doubt that it's going to be a credit card. It's going to be an easy onboard for all these people. They're not even going to probably really have to know what an NFT is to get, the loyalty card or the pass or whatever that NFT is going to be to participate in Starbucks Odyssey. And then they're going to get to access a bunch of new interesting utilities. I think it's going to just be like them using the app they're already familiar with in a new way. And it's going to seamlessly onboard millions of new people into Web3. That's what I'm expecting. I just think it's an absolutely massive thing. And as a last point, I think Starbucks, through this initiative and this experiment, is going to set the standard for what loyalty rewards as a utility for NFTs looks like.
I just want to give a big clap to whoever put this together. Obviously, it was a large team, of course, that like essentially is making Starbucks' transition into turning their rewards into some type of digital asset, like an NFT. But I mean, you go through the announcement here, and I'll link this in the chat for you guys to take a look. But just a fantastic job, not promising too much, meeting people where they are, just like integrating a little bit of technology. Again, the word NFT rings, I think, hollow with a lot of people just because of where we're at in the market. I think as we get more adoption, we're going to see more and people appreciate NFTs.
I would argue that's being generous, because hollow to me says that it's kind of like neutral. I think it's negative for a lot of the mainstream because of how it's been positioned and fudded as bad for the environment, all crypto scams. Like, I actually think that NFT holds negative baggage for a large population.
You're probably right about that. You're honestly probably right. I think that again starts to maybe two things can happen. Either Web3 becomes like that full umbrella term that we start using, and they certainly in this article have said Web3 as many times as they've said NFTs. But I think, dude, this is just a great entry point into, how can I say this? Like, this is probably the biggest that we've seen at the scale that Starbucks is trying to add NFTs into their systems and processes and rewards. Like, this is the largest that we've seen up to this point, and it was just done really, really well. Like, you go throughout the entire article, it's probably a 5-minute read. Go and read it, and it's very obvious that people who know what the fuck they're doing and not trying to cash grab and trying to implement this technology in a good way created this. Like, that's the only thing I'll say. And there is a wait list I'll link as well on this second link that's coming through. But just, I mean, fantastic. I'll open up the actual piece. So here's the wait list. Be the first to experience our new digital community. I also linked in the chat this article that we can go through. But yeah, Gif, I want to get a couple more thoughts here on the way that they kind of rolled this out, what your expectations are if you're on the wait list. Are
I
you on the
am.
wait list?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, and it's not even like I actually prefer Dunkin' to Starbucks these days, but that's not the point. Again, the point is that this is a massive experiment and it's going to set the standard for what loyalty and rewards look like with a lot of NFTs, being integrated by these massive global brands. So it's something to pay attention to and try and figure it out. Not to mention that who knows, maybe there's some really dope rewards that they're going to be offering to early movers. That's always been one of the values of the Web3 space is that early adopters get the most value and get rewarded. So I'm here for it. I'm on the wait list. Let's see what you got, Starbucks. But I think to your point, props to them because they must have been working on this for a couple months at least before rolling this out. And Starbucks is known for being innovative. They're usually at the bleeding edge, pushing the limit of what consumer brands are doing in different ways. And this is another example. So yeah.
So I want to go through a couple quick pieces here that relates to like the details. So you get about halfway through the article, basically you get an overview of what Starbucks Odyssey will offer, which is obviously the meat of what we want to be concerned with. So once logged in, members can engage in Starbucks Odyssey journeys, a series of activities such as playing interactive games or taking fun challenges to deepen their knowledge of coffee and Starbucks. Members will be rewarded for completing journeys within the digital collectible journey stamp. Members can also purchase limited edition stamps through a built-in marketplace within the Starbucks Odyssey web app experience. Limited edition stamps be available. There's a bunch of utilities as well that they go on to mention. Like all of these things that are not pushing too hard on their users, not like trying to overhaul their whole entire system. It's just an addition. And there's they go on to say no crypto wallet or cryptocurrency will be required off the bat, hopefully at some point they will get their users comfortable enough where that is something that can be added. But again, that this whole process was done really, really well. Shout out to whoever put this together. Let me know your thoughts here in the chat, and then GIF, any thoughts on the actual, pieces here that they're, kind of detailing out, which I'm also appreciative of. It wasn't just like, we're going to launch NFTs, get on the wait list. It was like, no, here's specifically how.
I hadn't really dug too much into the fact that they're gamifying it. Honestly, makes sense, and also makes more sense for why they chose Poly. So I keep calling Matic Polygon now. That's annoying, but yeah, I think it's really interesting that they're just adding more layers of interactivity and engagement and loyalty for their Starbucks customers. It's great branding. It's great equity. They're going to keep more people in their ecosystem and in their app. I mean, where Starbucks can take this, the sky is literally the limit. And I think that they understand that. That's what's really heckin' cool is that, again, these massive, it's like one of the biggest consumer brands in the world that is, taking this on, that understands the value of building a community doing this now. That's what's so crazy. And I think as a last point is just reiterating that I'm feeling more and more good about my Matic bags that I'm holding. Because, yeah, Polygon is going to be one of the best options for a lot of these brand integrations.
Hey guys, it's Nifty Q. If you enjoyed that clip, you can catch me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on NFT Live with other respected leaders in the industry giving you their take on what's happening in NFTs and Web3. Links to the show are in the description. Hope to see you there.